Tonight's episode. Tonight's episode. Nobody beats the house.
All right, good evening. We're going to be watching the auction here in a bit. It's not live yet, so we're going to open up this screen and bring this over. And if you want to jump in, actually, I'll throw the link out to Patreons. So we're watching this right now.
Almost normalizing gun ownership. And I think that's kind of the best thing that a lot of the content creators did, at least in the beginning, was they're like, owning guns is fun. Let's go out and shoot stuff. Let's show off this new gun. Or let's shoot targets and show off like what we can do and we're still. And everyone's like, this is just really cool thing to do. And then normalize it. Obviously, you want people to be more active, I think. But I think that was good opening up the door. And I think we got millions of gun owners, at least on the younger side, where they're like, hey, owning guns is pretty cool. I don't understand why people are saying that they're scary. Guys over here make it seem like a lot of fun.
That's a real good point. That's a real good point. I think those guys act as a gateway, and you know, I think you're dead right with that. I also think that with regard to
so we can cut off budget, or whatever he's calling himself these days. So we're going to be watching the auction. The auction's over here. It looks like we got about 28 minutes. That can't be right. Let's refresh this screen. About 13 minutes, and then everything's going to be going live. It looks like there's 400 auctions today. So we're just watching this other show as filler until auction starts, and then we might still listen to that. I am going to take a link over here and go over and drop it to the Patreons. The Patreons over there.
A NRA member in high school. The time between my first fire and advocacy.
Can you still hear it when I mute? Let me know.
I'm going to say I was
thanks. I wasn't sure.
I mean, I might be saying it behind cell doors, but I'm going to be saying I was in the fight.
I wasn't sure if I was screen sharing, if it was pulling the audio from the screen or not. So I'm watching the Ghost show until the auction starts here. It looks like we've got about 9 minutes before the auction starts. We're watching Ghost, who has Locked and Loaded Latinos on. Tony Simon, Mike from the artist formerly known as Budget Guns and Gear, Yuta, and then Clover, right? They're all over there talking about 2A or something. And then over here, we're watching the auction. So the auction is live in about 10 minutes. There's going to be some kind of picture going first, and then this Colt Sporter, old AR, an old AR, some garbage stuff, and then an AK, and then some other junk, and then a shotgun, and then some other stuff, and then another gun, Marlin 45 ACP. I've seen those before. Some other kind of rifle. There's about 45 rifles altogether out of 450 items. So we'll see how interesting it is. I've put a link out there to the Patreons. So Patreons are welcome to join in and watch.
I'll mess with them a little bit, but eventually it comes down to if I'm wasting more time, even worried about the toxic people, they're doing what they wanted. They're taking you away from your focus. So stay focused on whatever plan that it is. I want to listen to Joe brought because I thought it was really profound, and I don't even know if you realize how profound it was. But you were talking about having people willing to jump in the fight, and that's a great analogy where the old, salty guys, they're old, gun owners that maybe just too tired. They said, we've been trying to do this, or it's never worked, and New Jersey's a lost cause, and California's a lost cause. And the word to me, tag, comes in. Well, that's cool. Just because you're tired and you've given up, tag one of us in. We'll come in. And I think that that's a great thing, especially with the new gun owners, is why can't we utilize them as backup and say, hey, you don't have to be in the front lines right now. You don't have to jump in. But be ready to tag, because we're going to tag you in. Eventually, it's your turn to come in. So I thought that was really profound. I'm going to come back and open up another question here, but there's something that kind of goes along with this. Clover and I were talking to our buddy Smeggy a week or two ago, and it was about the California assault weapons ban. And he brought up a great
7 minutes out.
And he was saying, in California, they're trying to move this boulder. They're trying to move this boulder, and it doesn't seem to go anywhere. But then something like, even if it was for a week, the high-capacity magazine ban was struck down. The assault weapons ban was struck down. It may only last a month or two or whatever, but it's been struck down. Every little piece just makes that boulder just that much easier to push. And so when we're talking about something, we've talked about this for a long time, the liberals, the anti-gunners, I'm going to say the anti-gunners, whether they're, doesn't matter what political affiliation, the anti-gunners have been utilizing the death by 1,000 cut strategy for a long, long time. And it seems like our side was always, it's all or nothing. It's either revoke the NFA or nothing. And it hasn't worked. It seems, at least especially at the state level, in the last 6 months.
Looks like we're about 6 minutes out from the beginning. I don't know if anybody's out there has been looking through the auction, has got their eyes on anything. A couple of Rinkos, Mac,
and it
90s.
Nice because there's some momentum.
Bring back memories. I got rid of my Mac 90 a while ago.
That seemingly looks
Actually, I
like
own
we're
two
going
of
to
them
start
for a while
listening
now.
to some two-way cases. So momentum is going our way. So I'm going to throw this question out to the. Now we've got a little bit more momentum. Do we go pedal to the metal, or do we stay with the same strategy of maybe a
There's a
death
link
by
to the
1,000
auction
cuts?
again.
Go ahead,
I think
Tony.
it works.
Well, no, I'm going to raise my hand because my show starts at about 10 after 9. But what I want to say is there's someone in Jersey who's fighting the fight. We're taking L's, but understand some of those cases, 10 of the cases they turned down last time, 2 or 3 of them are from Jersey. One of the ones there now is from Jersey. Don't count us out because it sucks here, because we're still getting federal cases done. We're working with Second Amendment Foundation, Firearms Policy Coalition, CNJFO here in Jersey, ANJRPC, and NJ2AS. Those are three New Jersey groups that I swear to God, they can't order a sandwich at a restaurant together. But somehow, and I'm a member of all three, by the way, somehow they got together for this lawsuit. So the wins, the fights, are going to come from the states behind the Iron Curtain. It's going to come from New York, already up there. It's going to come from us. It's going to come from California. We're the ones that are pushing the things on the Supreme Court level that are going to change things nationally, even though we're catching L's on the state level. That's why you can't allow people to give up. That's why you can't allow this.
4 minutes.
What have they done lately? Why should I fill out another? Why should I? Because we're making wins. This is a fight we've been in since 1934. And we've laid down for a lot of it. We didn't understand we were in a culture war. It was like kind of, you didn't understand what kind of war you were in. Now we know. Now we have the internet. Now we have the means to reach out to people regardless of the background. If they hit YouTube, they can hear from us. And that's how we're going to grow, and that's how we're going to fight this back, because they cannot stop the signal. We have way too many people, way too many ways to reach way too many people for them to shut us down completely. I think this is our golden era. I think this is the time Pro 2A people can make a difference, and COVID helped. COVID allowed people to stay home and find us. COVID allowed people to buy a lot of guns that never bought guns. COVID changed the color, the race, the gender, and the sexual orientation of the normal gun owner in the last 2 years. And if we don't take this opportunity and we stop to throw rocks at every dog that barks at us, we'll never accomplish this mission. So yeah, put in work, do your due, court new people, take them to the range. The diversity shoot is what I do. The diversity shoot is what you can do on a smaller level with 2 or 3 people from your office. And don't show up trying to change their minds in one visit. All you need to do is plant a seed. All of a sudden, they know it's fun to shoot a gun. Cool. They know the guys they met, soccer coach.
We
nurse.
are 2 minutes and 41 seconds out.
So they're not going to fall for it. And then back off. Don't get there and pontificate. Don't get in like discussions with your buddies, Trump this, Trump. No. Go there, shoot with them, introduce them to guns, and then get them the heck out of there and go have lunch. And just have a conversation. Ask them, did they have fun? Make sure you take a bunch of pictures with them, and then invite them back again. We're going to have to do this one person at a time as a grassroots struggle. This war, we can fight it like with using guerrilla tactics, irregular warfare, using individuals.
2 minutes, 5 seconds.
That's all we do.
Puppy, you want any of these
Yeah,
things?
You can win this.
Hope he doesn't want anything. She don't care.
Thank you for coming. What I love about, and I think you're right, as far as COVID did change a lot. I think it helped a lot. No matter what you are, you're a white male, white female, you are black, you are Latino, you are Jewish, you are whatever, you are gay, whatever you are that makes you unique. It seemingly looks like now in our gun community, as far as in the content creator that's podcasts or doing videos, there's someone that represents you.
1 minute,
That wasn't the
27
case for a
seconds.
long,
You go by
long
this
time.
picture.
So there's a young person that's a young Latina. She now has someone to look up to and say, hey, she's a gun girl.
1,200
She's
rounds
proud
of
of
9.
it.
Oh, you're
She
talking
has her
about
own
this.
podcast.
I'd take that
And
ammo
there's-
can.
there's everything,
Hell yeah, I'd
every
like that
walk of
ammo
life.
can.
There's seemingly now in
A
our
9mm
someone
Israeli
that can
ammo
utilize
can and a
their
couple of those
platform
boxes of
to
ammo.
inspire others instead of saying,
Hell yeah, I'd
"Oh,
like
you're to
that.
inspire everyone." No. We shouldn't be trying to
That's
inspire
super cool.
anyone. We should be doing what we do and hope that they like what we're doing. That
I pretty
inspires
much
them
like
to
anything
follow
with
along.
squiggly writing.
Try to change one person's mind at a time. I love that. Take it
Blows
to
me
a
away
place,
that,
let them
you
have
know,
fun. We
These
all
other
remember
writings,
the
like that's
person
letters and
who
stuff. It's so
We
weird
all
to me.
remember that it's real English. If we teach them in the same
I'm a
way,
letterist.
I think that's a at a time. Say, hey,
So we're watching Ghost over here. He's got a bunch of 2A people on saying stuff at him. And then we're about to watch the auction. 25 seconds left on this first picture. Some kind of oil on a board. Next up in 36 seconds is this AR.
Find me at diversityshoot.com. I have links to our podcast. I'm on the Self Defense Radio Network also. On the Civilian Self Defense. I don't need to know the name of the damn podcast.
Self-defense gun stories.
There you go. I just add so much to it. Just self-defense gun stories. Love the show. And it's for Incidental Week by firearms instructors, defensive firearms instructors. I think it's like 6 or 8 of us now. And every week it's a new one. And it's a great show because you use that as an example of regular people defending themselves with a firearm. That's why you need an AR-15 with a 30-round clip and shoulder thing. Also, I'm on the 284E podcast, and I'm also on the Firearms Radio Network with Gun and Gear Review podcast. Got that name right? And that's where I'm going right now. If you want to help us out, you can go to diversityshooting.com. There's ways to donate to help us keep the lights on, as it were. We also have a Patreon, 284E podcast, so send this for everyone podcast on Patreon. Give away cool prizes, including guns. So, I'm sorry, paper punches, over. And I have really cool shirts on that thing. We can do that, including the Lovetron shirt, which that money is split between
There we go.
me and Aaron Millette.
Oh, are you kidding me? Somebody's bidding up this picture and the rifle already went? Oh, man. I'm not even paying attention. I'm going to turn this down, listening to Tony Hawk, all his 2A efforts, wasting our time when we could be watching rifles. All right, so then you get this horse collar. That's a nice way to call it a yoke. And then some jewelries, and then in 32 seconds, in 31 seconds, we're looking at that first AK, the MAK-9, modern AK.
Fives there.
Oh no, it's modified AK, what am I saying?
What's the name of the company? Pure, the FRT.
Holy shit, it's gonna bid out. It just bid out? Are you kidding me? 8 seconds left? Oh, it's not gonna bid out. It is. Oh no, somebody bid it up. Okay. I was gonna say that thing's gonna go for $800. That seems cheap to me. I am no expert on this, but anyway, that gives me 45 more seconds to talk about it. Listen to Tony talking about all his efforts and all that hard work he does for the Second Amendment, and give him credit would be giving him credit. We don't want to do that. So instead, let's talk about this AK-47 rifle. We got a minute and 40 seconds to talk about it. I guess we can listen to Tony.
So that's what we got going on, man. Come to our events. We even had the alien pistol. Largo Arms there. Yep. See you guys.
I should give Tony the shirt I have from Largo. All right, so then now we're back to the AK. It's an MAK meeting, modified AK. From the story I remember, these were coming in to the States en route when the assault weapons ban took effect. And since they were en route, there was some sort of situation where they were able to modify them, I guess. And then the rest of them were modified before they headed over. And I guess that's why we have a couple of the MAK versions. So this one has the thumb hole stock and the no bayonet lug and perhaps a thinner magwell. I think probably a thinner magwell. Let's take a look. And this one, to me, because of the stock and everything, what's going on with this? So how do you click it up? To me, this is saying this one came in after. So we'll see if it has a slanted stock or not. That would be the kind of thing to know about. How much more time we got? 18 seconds. Is it gonna bust again? $855 for a Mac 90. That seems incredibly cheap to me in this day and age, but I guess that's about to go for $855. So people are like, I don't want to bid on things because I have to pay too much. That one just ended at $855. So bayonet lug appears to be in excellent condition. To talk about the slant cut, no. So I don't think we see any pictures with the stock removed. But you can see that they turned down the threads off the barrel. They milled off the bayonet lugs, and then stamped Mac 90 Sporter on it. So this one is imported by Interstate Arms. So depending on how you collect, I wonder if there's anybody that collects like virgin imports. It would be kind of neat. I'm ignoring all this stuff. If you're really into the jewelry and jackets, then there's probably somebody else following an auction for you. But if you're interested in the gun parts, that's what I'll probably be paying attention to more. go back over and listen to what they're saying.
stereotypical Yahoo gun owner and doing some crazy irresponsible.
All right,
garbage.
14
Yeah,
seconds
it
on a
might be
Mossberg
cool. Yeah, it
road
might
blocker.
be funny.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
the one
you
with the
might
big
throw
50
eyes,
cal
but you're
brake
throwing
on
eyes
it.
for the wrong reasons.
$510 bucks.
And I just
Semi-auto
think
12
it's
gauge.
horribly irresponsible.
It would be something you might take the stock off
The
of
Second
it and
Amendment's
mount it to a
rebel
vehicle and put some sort of a chute to feed it. Looks like it just left, so no one even bid on it. So do you think that these guns are going to go for? It has a slant brake, but the picture showed the thing milled off. So I don't know. I guess what I was going to say is, do you think that because? Oh, I missed the 9mm ammo also. Man, I'm not even paying attention. This is happening pretty quick. I should probably pay less attention to what they're saying over here. I wonder if the guns are going to go for less money because there's fewer of them. This one isn't a gun-heavy auction, it doesn't seem like. So, bucket of empty brass, 4,000 rounds of brass for $200. I don't know if that's a good deal or not. There's 8 people claimed to be paying attention to this, according to the NARC over here, the robot NARC that tells me how many people are watching this. So, this is the only dude saying anything. This dude said something once, he could be fake. Anybody could have said something once. This dude's been saying stuff, so he's proof of life. But does anybody think, what happened to that brass? Did that brass just gets, man, I can't even pay attention. Nothing's getting bid on. Nobody's bidding on nothing. I feel like if you wanted to make some money tonight, you could be making some money tonight. But what do I know? Anyway, so next time I'll try to ask ahead of time. This one has got 2 minutes left. It's a Marlin 45 ACP. These are pretty neat because they use a 1911 magazine. Whenever we seen these at the store, I could have sworn they went for like way closer to $700, $800. But I might be crazy because I don't pay that much attention to stuff like that, and I can't afford that kind of stuff. And I'm not interested in acquiring this kind of stuff, but I can tell you this is an interesting little gun. If you like acquiring interesting stuff, these are cool. They're made by Marlin. I don't like Marlin, but people do. And it uses 1911 mags, which is pretty awesome. It's got this weird like, I'm trying to remember if it was polymer or aluminum. It looks polymer, but I would have thought it was aluminum kind of mag weldy thing. But it looks like plastic, doesn't it? So I don't know if anybody knows about that one. If anybody's listening to this. Anyway, they were pretty neat because they used a 1911 mag, and they did poor in sales, it says, was the answer to a question the market wasn't asking for at the time. The rifles were a simple blowback with 18-inch barrels. That's what I like about their auction, too. Is it's awesome. They put so much work into it. So let's see, did that thing already sell? It's got $855, so it's going to sell for the same price as a Mac 90? What? Oh, $800. That's about what I would think it would sell for. I would have thought a Mac 90 would have sold for more than a Camp, or I guess a 45. They call it a Camp 45? I know the other one was a Camp 9. It's got 25 seconds, so as soon as it bids out, which it looks like it's going to do, I'm going to go put some ice in this coffee because it's getting to be room temperature, and room temperature here is like 95 degrees, so I'm going to put some ice in here. Pity they stopped building them. I wonder, is Maryland still a place? Because you would think they could build those again and just sell out, right? Sell out. And if they could do that in 10mm, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
But they barely mention it.
I'm gonna go get some ice.
The newspaper that is not biased, is in that they don't talk about it.
I think there's only one way to do that, and that's by encouraging other people. You know, I know you say it all the time, Ghost. I know I say it.
Oh, snap. It just left, huh? So I guess it went for $855. To me, it seems like guns are going for nothing. They're giving them away.
Encouraging other people to spread their message in a responsible manner. And portray our side of the way argument.
Before, I thought that was Ghost making noises on his chat, and now I realize that it's the auctions over here. So this is a white thing. Oh, it's white jewelry. So there's a bunch of jewelry. I don't know how many people are bidding on jewelry. Next thing we got is a Schmidt Rubin K31 bolt action. I don't even know about these, so. I consider that Europe, so I don't bother with it in my brain. It's about to, it got rebidded to 460. We got 100 rounds of 380 coming for 75 bucks. For Blazer brass for 75 bucks. It's a lot of money. We'll see if that gets any bids on it. What do we got over here? Antique postcards. What? Holy moly. It's super hot just going over there and picking up some ice. Those are kind of neat. What are those going for? 75 bucks? Panda silver. This is the money that pandas use in China. They make pandas buy all their food. That's why they're endangered, because they don't have enough money from people coming by and giving them money. Then they can't eat. Some other silver over here. Old people on money. I refuse to have money with old people on it. Ammo prices are nauseating. Yeah. Unless it's the future. If it's the future and you're looking at these ammo prices, you're probably like, oh man, I should have been buying it for just 75 bucks for 2 boxes. Or will the future be like, oh man, you used to shoot lead. Now we shoot this sand, this silica, this 3D printed silica out of some sort of, I don't know, silica barrel so that both of them wear, but by creating less friction somehow. I don't know. You know, there'll be some future where we shoot something that's not just super plentiful, but also turns into nothing when it hits the steel or whatever, right? .3D barrels, of course. No, not when you spiral a 3D print and you need a spiral for the trajectory of helical projectile. Is that what that's called? Spiral projectile, whatever that's called. I wish I had a basement. Trying to listen to 2 chats at the same time. Got a bunch of sunglasses. Here's some magazines coming up. 6 magazines for the 17 9mm. People buy those, and it is 6 of them for 125 bucks. I don't know what magazines cost. I would only buy factory mags though, personally. These are Palm mags. I used to like Palm mags, I think. Yeah, I like Palm mags. I think the deal with Palm mags is they didn't come apart. There's some 7.62 by 54 packs of 20. Wait a minute. Brass case for Dan Primed. Interesting. I wonder where this is from. Yellow tip. So heavy ball. And then, wow, is this ours? This is weird. This isn't right. This isn't right. It's in the wrong can. They just stuck it into some can that says 308, but I can't imagine this wouldn't be ours. M62 M80? M62 M80. Yeah, see, that's 762 by 51. So what have they got wrong here?
Right. And then we'll say, hey, you know what?
That looks like 54R, and we certainly don't put anything in little stringy bags or nothing. So that's 54R, but it's in a 308 can. So, whatever. Where are we at? We got 11 Civil War tokens. What's yellow tip? In Communist 762 by 39. Let's see if I've got it up on the website right now currently. Ammo Buyer's Guide. Let's just go to it instead of going into it. And then let's go to AK. I probably need to go update some of this. I need to update this site, but I have that information in a book. I don't feel like opening it right now, but basically yellow tip means heavy ball. It just means lead inside of there, sometimes a piece of steel, I think. I forget what the definition of heavy ball is for commies, because it's different for us.
Is because I have the platform.
Looks like the next gun will be a Arasaka. I've had Arasakas before. They're cool. I bought an Arasaka because I wanted the bayonet, and I bought the Arasaka to go with the bayonet. And I ended up getting one that had quite a complete gun. So with Arasakas, you're going to look for, this is already not what I'm looking for, because it's been refinished. But you're looking for a chrysanthemum, always on anything Japanese. Come on, Clover, we're trying to talk here. You're looking for a chrysanthemum on anything Japanese, because that's an indication of whether the dude had time to ditch it or not. You're looking for complete wood, and this one ain't. You're looking for the dust cover, which rattles around on top of here. You're looking for the anti-aircraft sight, which is missing. You're looking for the bayonet, which is missing. You're looking for, what the hell else? There's something else back here that's missing. And then you're looking for the sling, and then sometimes this has a chrysanthemum. That's interesting. Are they going to show us it ever? So sometimes what they would do is chop it to put it in their duffel bag and take it home and then put it back together, sort of. And you're looking for if that was done or not. And in this case, we'll have to read it to find out. I think there was also something going on up front. So this one looks fairly sparse, in my opinion. And I can't imagine why they don't show us the chrysanthemum. It looks like it's in good shape right there. It's weird. So this is a late war, chambered in 7.7 Jap, used in the Imperial Japanese through to 99 Arasakas are relative to the Mausers. This example has the mum, and the finish is quite worn. Come on, why didn't they show us the mum? Looks like it's going to go for 360 bucks. So a piece of Japanese rifle that some dude had to kill somebody or find some dead dude, pick that thing up and drag it home on a boat. And then it's been in somebody's garage, and then it's been sitting there. So it may have killed our dudes. It probably was being held by a dude who got killed, and it's going to be sold for 360 bucks. In my opinion, $360 are not as valuable as that gun. I can't imagine that thing's only worth 360 bucks, even in that poor condition, maybe years ago. But today, oh no, it's about to leave for 360 bucks. Am I wrong? Or did somebody just get a great deal on that Arasaka? It's not all that awesome, but I think it's worth it. I don't know. I'm dumb, I guess. So this is primers. If somebody was out there that knew what was going on, I don't know what these are worth. These are probably worth $5, 15 bucks. All of the important pieces are missing. True, but still, like you can get all those pieces, and it's got the chrysanthemum. But I think just having one at this point, you know, just like a nothing one would still be worth 200, I would think. So that chrysanthemum is definitely worth more than 100 bucks. I don't know. I don't have any idea how many are out there. And it all depends on how many people are interested in them, right? Because it's the factor of how many exist versus how much demand there is. So now we got a bunch of weird stuff I don't care about. And then we get some 303 British. I don't care at all about this. I used to own a 303, but this isn't in any. Nope, this isn't in any kind of original packaging or nothing. And they're just loose. I would like that ammo can though. I don't have that ammo can. So this is from a bunch of 5.5 or 5.56 blanks in 10 round clips. So why would you put blanks in a 10 round clip? I can think of a couple of reasons. Let's go to C79A1 and find out what the hell that means. C79A1. What is this? Some kind of sight. Looks like an L-can. L-cans are stupid. Don't know what that is. So I don't know what those blanks would be for. Oh, a Ruger 9mm carbine. I had one of these, and I can't remember what I sold it for. Less than $500 though. No, maybe I did sell for about
I definitely want that chainsaw band.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't want the chainsaw?
I got this. Oh, this is the new one. I don't have the new one. I had
No,
an
I
old
just
one.
wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody and just say thank you for a good show tonight. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's when you get great people.
Oh, this one's a
things
takedown.
that happen
So
as well,
those are
you
current,
get
right?
a lot of
Are they
great
hard to
people
get? I
that,
don't know.
We don't have to all get along. I think most people in this get along in a public setting, but we don't have to come from the same spot. We don't have to have the same interest in firearms. That's the beautiful thing about the firearm community. Well, I use it a lot too.
Then we got this goofy Walther.
We have different, you know,
Not a
Clover
fan.
and I, this is, we talk about this all the time. Clover and I, Clover is
Got a,
my best friends in this world.
760 pumping 36 coming up.
Behind closed doors, bro. Come on.
Hey, but no, it's just one of those that we
Got a Springfield coming.
in a live chat. And now he's one of my closest friends in this world. He's definitely my closest friend in this YouTube world for sure. But Clover and I shouldn't be friends.
I found out the ones with the flour ground off were sent to South Korea.
We talk tactical and training and you know all the stuff that
Interesting.
I like and I
What's the G22 going for? Mine here went missing.
We don't have a lot of the same.
So it looks like this one is currently at $190 with 2 minutes left.
People come to this community for different reasons. And they come here.
It's in like a little box. I don't know what's all on that stock. From what I remember, you could put extra spacers in here to make the stock a bigger length of pull or whatever. And this was the mag release, right?
Whatever that reason is. And then once we got them in, then I say, oh, by the way.
Or was this how you lock the bolt back? That might be how you, that might be your slide lock. I don't remember. I've only fiddled with this once or twice. I don't think I've ever shot one. I'm almost positive I've never shot one.
Inside story, you guys will see Demo Ranch Hates Kids. It's an inside thing that happens on the
Rear sight looks kind of interesting.
But that's every time his name.
All right, I don't hate it, but I don't like it either.
Nope, I just had to.
190.
Bring it up. It's the hashtag. We have to
How much is the emerald worth per ounce?
So yeah, I mean.
I don't know about ounces. It's a 145 carats, so that means it weighs as much as 145 carats that you might use for moving. And then it comes with its own credit card, so it can spend money on you. It says it's a barrel. That's interesting. Because you know why? Barrel is the name of Polish AK-47. Anyway, it's $100 for 145 carats. So I'm guessing the conversion ratio is $1 per ounce. But I don't know. It might be off from that, potentially. These are Kachinas. I don't know if you people have these by you, but Kachinas are these like pandering, like what's that called when you appropriation of the native or the indigenous culture and their totems and their dances and whatnot. However, I suspect they probably did these dances to get other wandering tribes to come over and hang out and whatnot. So kind of tourist trap the whole time if you look at it that way. But anyway, Kachinas are pretty cool. I don't know. Some people probably get way more into them. These don't look to me like they're super traditional or anything. So I don't know if they're just art or what. Possibly Hopi. I don't know about that. Badger Dancer, signed by Navajo Jim. Oh, so maybe they are signed by somebody. Storm Man, and then Hoop Dancer. So I guess they're not, maybe they're more than just a tourist piece. We'll find out what they go for. We'll close out of it ever. $55 for 3 of them. We got some little motorcycle collection thingies. I guess these are for people that are like, I want to have porcelain, but I don't want to have little cute porcelain things. I want to have little choppers. I got one of those barrel AKs. Need to grab the gem and add it to the mount in front of the light. Oh, that would be cool. You got a barrel? Damn, I liked barrels. They're pretty neat. So yeah, you could get it for $100. I have no idea if that's a good deal. Seems like a good deal. Looks like a pretty big rock. I would like a piece of natural barrel, like just the raw chunk of barrel that somebody picked up off the ground or grabbed out of the side of the wall or whatever. I had a nice green G20 True, tested it to an FFL here when I made homeless and it went missing along with an AP74. That's annoying. I had one time a revolver that I gave to a friend to take to an FFL who was a friend to fix, and then I never saw it again.
Broke 12 rounders. So even from that very moment, you'd be like, that's. Sometimes it's just as subtle as that, and you just drop it like that gun that you really enjoy. You can't drive across the border right now. And people are just like, what? What are you talking about?
So it looks like the little hogs keep getting bid on. They're kind of cool. If you had a grandma, give them to her. Maybe a grandpa, maybe. We got a link out there to Patreons if they want to jump in. Listening to Ghost over here with his chat going on for an hour and 23 minutes. And then we're watching the Pot of Gold auctions. We got a Remington 30-06 pump coming up here. It's got 57 seconds left. This thing's pretty awesome. Look at that awesome stock. Honest wear. Then just age from being awesome. It's got a stock it looks like it's been modified to me. It's got that optic from back in the day, which may or may not work, I guess. Pump action 30-06. So depending on what you're hunting, and you might need a second follow-up shot, that's pretty neat. So I don't know. You tell me, is that stock modified, or did they just make it like that, or is that an option? I've never had a pump 30-06, and I've only fiddled with a few, and they were definitely more stock or more smooth than this, not like that big cheap piece and stuff. I like it. Pretty cool. How much is it? $260. If I had money and I had an interest in acquiring guns, I'd probably buy it, but I don't, so I didn't. Then we got a bunch of lipstick bullets. Swedish 6.5 by 5.5. If 9mm shooters ever picked up a rifle, it would be a Swedish 6.5 by 5.5 or a Karen Kano, because they would want a long, narrow projectile that's delicate and dangerously fragile. So, it says these are Lynx. So I guess the reason that they're red is they got a wooden projectile on them. Damn, I would like a handful of those, though. That would be cool. I got wooden bullets from all kinds of different calibers, but not the 6.5 by 5.5. That'd be kind of cool. $65. Why would you buy that? Unless you're like me and just have extra money to burn and would like to have a few of them and are willing to spend $65 to get 1,700 of them. I imagine, do they call that a recreation or whatever? Where they shoot the blanks at each other for reenactment, right? For a reenactment, that might work. 7,600, is that the model? Sorry, I missed that. I don't know. Oh, snap. We got a Baby Browning coming up. $725, an all chromed out Baby Browning from Browning. Nice. Gold trigger on it. Made in Belgium. Got some kind of goofy grips. Interesting, like a matte frame and a polished slide. That's sweet. If I had money and an interest in acquiring guns, I'd buy the shit out of that. I don't, and I don't. So I ain't. Next up is a 1022, which is super boring. So if you want your grandpa's 1022, this is a 1022 you buy if you hate 1022s and you're like, I'm going to buy one that has nothing done to it at all, just to have it. So I wonder if that one will go up from $175. What's cool about that is some kid, dang it, went to 170, 185. I was just going to say some kid, I don't know if they have paper routes anymore, but some kid did something to earn money. And then that kid is going to buy that rifle for $175, even if it is boring and plain. And then they're going to have their first rifle unless some jerk keeps outbidding them. Now, if this is two kids bidding against each other, I'm down with it. If this is some kid trying to buy her first rifle and some jerk is bidding against her, then that's lame. But that's a boring rifle. Leave it for the kids. If I had that rifle when I was a little kid and you buy it for a decent price, and then you get to start whittling on it. You get to start modifying your own rifle. I'm gunsmithing it yourself. 33 seconds left. We'll see if it goes up from 185. I guess it's also a decent chassis. I mean, it's been used, but it's a chassis that you could make all different kinds of rifles off of it. The thing is, in 2021, why would you start with an old rifle? You could just as easily start with just a receiver from somewhere. So I don't know what that ding means. Did something get a new bid? No. I guess it just means something is in the last few seconds. So there it goes. Somebody left that little rifle to some kid, hopefully. Then we got a bunch of Britain money nobody wanted. Some kind of stupid baseball nobody wanted. And then some kind of stamps or coins or something. Some kind of bowls. Chickens. Gary's going to vote on these. Put them around his house. Oh yeah, can't get enough weird chickens for Gary. And then let's see what we got over here. 7.62 by 54. More of that yellow tip. What kind of can is it in? Just a kind of a boring non-era, I think. 308 can. Probably from a 60.
And then they came back to the Holocaust and was the only people that were able to fight the Nazis. And then we're like,
All right, so now heading back over. Looks like we got a whole bunch of stuff happening. We got some AR-15 mags that are just random. They go 12 assorted high-capacity mags. Consigner noted these are assorted types for AR-15, 223, 5.56. 7 used Colt manufacturing, 4 used 30-rounders, 1 new 30-rounder in a packaging. All are aluminum. So I know a couple of people that used to hang around that like aluminum mags. I mentioned they would bid on something like that. 14 for $100 is like $10 a mag-ish. A little bit less than $10 a mag. So somebody probably got a good deal. Maybe had to change some followers out. Maybe they'd be good to go. Maybe. What is this? This is interesting and old. It's J. Stevens, number 10 single shot target in 22 long, break action breech loading, inherently simple. So it's an old, goofy, a single shot. Probably for the kids, for the youths. That is neat. So I'm guessing you just pull that thing and it breaks open. Yeah, look at that. That is super cool, actually. Think of how slow that would make you shoot and how good that would be for a youngin'. It would be really hard to have an accident until you're ready to shoot it again. You know, there's not a lot, when it's a break open, there's not a lot you can really do to that thing while it's inoperable, right? It's not dangerous really until it's ready to fire. And you still have to pull back that cocking mechanism. It's almost like they thought it through and they knew how people evolve into fiddling with their fingers and paying attention as they learn. It's almost like they knew exactly what's going on. That thing is $250. That's what happens in capitalism, where all these capitalists have money, and I just can't have whatever I want because of the money is a scarcity, and you have to do stuff to get the money, and you have to have it and whatnot, and you have to distribute it. Dang capitalism. If this was socialism, I could just have this. 46 seconds. Will it get bid up again? We'll find out. Probably not because I'm going to look over here.
Yeah, so I mean,
A lot of ignorance out there about gun rights. All right, let's go back over here. It's got 29 seconds. You got some kind of glasses going on, some kind of credit card, some kind of mint, some kind of coffee table, another piece of rock, and then another weird Beretta. Can Beretta make a normal looking gun? No. They're like, we've been making guns for 600 years. Why would we make a normal gun? You can go make your own normal guns. We're going to do whatever we feel like over here. Plus, they're Italian, so they got to be weird just out of tradition. It looks like it's going for $250. That seems like a lot of money. Somebody really wanted that thing. It's some rich dude who got it from his youth, to remember his youth, maybe. Some chick bought that to remember her grandpa's youth. So now we got a U-22. Like it or don't like it? I don't know. They're probably trying to be some sort of Olympic looking. Kind of an interesting pattern there. I think I knew somebody that had one of these, and they said it was so good. Maybe it was just I was saying they were dumb, and somebody was trying to just play devil's advocate. I think the deal is you put your optic up there, and then everything cycles underneath, so it's solid and accurate, whatever. 230-06 tracers. Something everybody needs. That's a nice cam. So the stenciling goes right over the slant. 30 link belt, ball, AP track. Interesting. So how much is 200 rounds of 30-06 tracer? I'm guessing that they probably are going to pull the tracer out of there and then pull the powder and then use the primed case to create more 30-06 or pull the primer. Can you pull a live primer? They probably must be able to do that because their reloaders are crafty and cheap. So they're probably going to pull the components apart, can make that case into some goofy caliber instead of decent 30-06 like it's supposed to be, and then reload it into some 6.7.5 millimeter metric enhanced blah 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 mode caliber instead of a decent caliber. But I'll bet you that's why it's got a high price, because of the wildcatters. They call themselves wildcatters, but they might as well call themselves metric catters because they metric everything up. That has got the weirdest stenciling I'd ever seen. 30 linked belt. I wonder if that's another country or if it's just some company or something, like a private entity that did that. Next gun is going to be a Savage 99. So from the way I understand it, Savage is a savage MFer. So he got sick of living wherever he lived and went to Australia and become one of he went there for like 14 years and became one of the largest cow farms in Australia. He sold that to leave because he got sick of owning Australia. Sold one of the biggest cow farms, went to, I think, I'm trying to remember the story now, but he went to something like Jamaica to grow, let's just say pineapples, but I can't remember. Went to England for a little while, comes back, starts to run a railroad in New York just after inventing a rifle to give to the U.S. Army. The Army didn't want it, so it turns out to be basically the Model 99, the version that turned into the Model 99, and its deal is it has a helical mag, like a 1022 in there. And at the time when cartridges were brand new, that was novel, but nobody really cared. His deal was he thought that it would balance the rifle. Instead of having the cartridges down underneath the magazine, which would move and leave as you shot it, it would keep the weight balanced here at the back of the rifle, which would give the overall weapon, the machine, a more balanced, consistent balance. And that was his goal, from what I understand, in building it this way, with that magazine, and also to allow some other features. But then nobody wanted it. And then 2 seconds later, smokeless powder comes out, and now you can't, center fire smokeless powder, you can't use a tubular magazine for every pointy round, but you sure can use this magazine. So that's when the 99 really took off. And then he got sick of making rifles and decided to sell the company with his name in it, and went to California and eventually invented the radial tire. So Savage is a cool story, and he invented this gun and then left it. So I don't know, the 243 Winchester doesn't sound like the original caliber, but I've never picked one up since I learned the story. I'm looking forward to picking up my first Model 99 and fiddling with it now that I know a little bit more about where it fits into everything. It's kind of neat. Savage is cool though. The guy ended up offing himself when he was like 81 because he didn't want to get old with diseases. So that's a whole nother thing. We're not represented in our community by people that have to deal with end-of-life situations, and instead those circumstances end up being used against us as gun deaths. But we're on a lighter subject here, so I guess we won't get into that. So we got that ammo, or that tracer ammo, which I'm suspecting is going to be used by the reloaderists. What's shipping on these things? That table is too low to include shipping. Oh, well, this is in Arizona. This is outside of Phoenix. If you leave Phoenix and go to California, that's where this auction is. So I'm guessing that a lot of these people buying furniture and stuff are either they don't care about it because the money doesn't matter to them, or they just live in Phoenix and they're going to go pick it up. They have a pretty cool place where the auction takes place, just south of the highway. And I'm sure it's all set up there. So people that are bidding on something like a table or something large, I'm guessing that they probably went down and checked it out first and know how they're going to get it home. So next we have a Walther P38. What was the deal with this gun? There's something interesting about this gun that I forget. But anyway, it's a stupid gun, has stupid caliber in it. Nobody likes it. It's shitty. So we'll see. Somebody's going to probably pay for it. And then this one is an SKS. So this one looks like a boring one that was imported, and it has no bayonet on it, but it has a bayonet lug. But yeah, it's just a boring old. Can you see this better? Oh, look at that. Made in China by Norinco. Yep, KSI, Pomona, California. It's a sweet one. I hope that there's people that are collecting virgin imports because this is so nice. Thing is, even in the 2004 era, when I was deep into this stuff, people would drool over this so that they could modify it. So this lasted about 15 seconds after it was in someone's possession, typically. What did I just do? How do I get out of here now? No. So that thing is at $400. How much do you think this SKS will go for? So it looks like the out of control 9mm addicts are going to just spend all kinds of money on this 38. Oh, sorry. I was just voicing an opinion on this gun. They're still going over here. Let's see if they're saying anything good.
I have this one buddy of mine who makes memes all the time. He's super creative.
So let's go back over. Looks like we just got another bid on the Angry 9mm. I'm going to call these the Angry 9mm. I mean, all 9mm are angry, but the Nazi 9mm are the most angry of 9mm. Some of the most angry of 9mm. Oh, here we go. I didn't even see this one happen right in front of me. $220 for a bunch of empty bullets. Suckers. Desperate reloaders will buy anything, even the husks of reloaded bullets, just so that they can be around the discarded husks of bullets. It's sad, really, in a lot of ways. But it lets the rest of us throw away our empty bullet husks, or not just throw them away, but make money off our empty bullet husks. Let's see, we got 150 rounds of 380 coming. This time it's $90. This time it's still just shooting ammo, but it is white box this time instead of like cheap brass. What was that stuff? Blazer? Where's Blazer come from? I don't think Blazer's USA, isn't it? Early Savage advertisements are interesting. I haven't even gotten into advertisements too much. I'm interested when I see them, but I haven't got my head around them. Shit, that would have been interesting to put into the project, though. Firearms advertisements. Maybe I'll try to shove that into the workbook side of it, just for shits and giggles. It's kind of interesting because they have been awesome. Yeah, so Blazer is from like Wisconsin or North Dakota or someplace, or Nebraska or whatever, right? $700. It's pathetic, but it's also sad and disheartening to see the 9mm addiction just take place in front of everybody. It's really sad. It's like watching a junkie just be miserable, like out in front of everybody in a crowded area. It's sad. Now the SKS is up to $460, which I would consider a respectable number at this point. I think I wouldn't be surprised, even if it's at 36 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and say I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes to $500. I said it. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I think it's got a lot of potential. And if somebody is a virgin import collector, it's got, that potential too. See, boom, just got bidded up to $470. Now we're only $30 away from me being 100% accurate in my estimates today. Is the 9mm addicts finally reached their limit? And $700 is all they can afford to spend on an old German nightmare of a gun? Yes, it's finally out of here. Good. Yeah, nobody likes that gun. Let's see, a bunch of jewelry and rocks, some kind of shirt, purple things, and then we got a shotgun coming out. Oh, some magazines for Polish AK-47s. You know what the difference is between a Polish AK-47 and a regular AK-47? So this lot features 10 AK or 7.62 by 39 high capacity. Why do I keep saying high capacity magazines? That's a standard capacity magazine. I would think that this company would definitely not use baited words that are given to the other side to marginalize us. Polish AK-47. And then why they say for the Polish AK-47? View our full catalog. All right, normally I like their descriptions. This one I'm kind of discussing. It's inaccurate and deceptive. So let's look at closer. What is going on with that magazine back there? Why does it have that weird shape? What is going on with this magazine? This is two magazines next to each other, maybe? That has to be. That's two magazines next to each other. It just looks creepy. Otherwise, it's some kind of weird hybrid clone thing. What else do we got? Some books. Nobody cares about books anymore. We got a picture. We got some necklaces and some coins. And nothing going on. So we're going to go watch this show for a while. If California allowed me to, I'd have been all over that SKS. I didn't even see what it went for because I'm that bad. I am that bad at watching this. So it automatically closes it automatically removes the closed ones. So I kind of suck at this. But here's the deal. If you like this so much and I'm sucking at it, then definitely go watch it because you should be watching it anyway. I'm not really paying that much attention to it. I'm guessing those Polish mags are from Circle 11. Had to be before the Tantal and Barrel. I don't know. The Tantal is from the 70s and the Barrel is from right after that. So the 80s. So whatever the Circle 11, it's actually an interesting story. But the Circle 11 is a factory there that, or is the name of the factory while it was Soviet. And then I think people fight for it now in that town. We got a little while before the shotgun comes up, so I'm just going to listen to Ghost Show.
Perception, I guess, of that younger person. The same way as the older person kind of comes off maybe condescending and looking down upon a younger person. And I'm not doing that. It's just I'm experienced with life and all these other things more than that person. And I'm falling back on that. And so that kind of makes me seem sometimes like I'm a know-it-all. And it's like I'm not trying to go that route with it, but sometimes the younger person can take it.
Well, it's also more than just that, right? It's a matter of, like, let's say Trey and I, let's say we never met, right? And the first time I meet him, I see he's got this big USMC tattoo on his arm, right? So I'm not going to go up to him and say, oh, nice tattoo. By the way, the Navy's better, right? You could.
You should get a possible response from that. I'm just saying.
I know, but like, you know what I'm saying? To connect with that person, you really have to find what makes them tick. That has nothing to do with politics or trying to convince them otherwise. Meaning, if I came up to you and I said that to you, and we didn't know each other, you'd be like, "Who the hell are you?" Like, what? Like, I'm gonna beat the crap out of you now. Like,
well, you get defensive.
Yeah, I'm trying to make a joke.
That
It didn't
person
work. So I'm not even
automatically get defensive, and what happens when they get defensive? no matter what you say from that point on, they're not
Got some kind of jukebox from somebody stole out of a store or a restaurant. That rock just went for $45. Giant sapphire, $45.
If you can't do that,
I have no idea how much that's.
I mean, if you can't do that, then if the minute you
320 rounds
well, you're right. You end the conversation
from an
right
8
there.
millimeter. Let's turn this down again. Tantal is 545. Tantal is 545, and barrel is mostly 223, except for the Nigeria versions. That's why I figured we had to be made before both. Just guessing. Oh, interesting. That's interesting. So let me think about that. Okay, I don't remember. I do remember Tantal being 545 for sure, right? And I know that there are barrels in 223, yes. But I'm almost positive I've shot a barrel in 545. But I could easily be mistaken because it's been so long ago. But yeah, it's interesting. I haven't thought about that in a long time. But I think I agree that the magazines had to be. Oh, I thought the magazines had to be after all that. But they look older. They didn't look brand new. So let's screw these 8 millimeter bullets. Nobody cares about. Let's go look at them. I can click on them. This one definitely doesn't look new. This one does not look new. These two look brand new. This 3 could be new. Those 2 could easily be new. So it's a good question. There's no way this one is new. I do not think this one's new. And this one has had paint and it's worn and used, so it's not new. These, though, I don't know, they all look different. And this one definitely looks ancient. And 7.62 by 39 for sure. And you're probably right. They have to be before the Tantal and the barrel, because there's no way a barrel or a Tantal is anywhere near 7.62. So, yeah, they have to be older than them, both of them. You're 100% correct. Figured it out scientifically now. And they just got sold, so I guess it's gone now. It doesn't even matter. Vintage jars. Rare cream sherry.
Yeah, we use emotion as well. It's not like it was earth-shattering, mind-blowing, but for a lot of people that thought of us using that emotional side as well, it is something that's foreign to them. They don't think that we can tell us.
Oh, $160 for 320 rounds at 8 millimeter. I don't know what you do with 8 millimeter.
To protect my kids and my home and all that.
Gone.
And I have to do certain things or whatever the story is.
Next up will be 280 rounds of more of that yellow 5.4R in a 3008 can, or a 308 can. Let me see.
And I think they have to make sure they're not evil to the point where there's not a gun owner in the world that's a responsible owner that wants to be in. Especially kids, we don't want useless deaths. That's why we say responsible owner, because there is evil out there. And no matter what legislation that you pass,
Oh, got 100 rounds of 40 coming.
so none of us want senseless death. None of us want people to die in school.
So we do have a link out there to Patreons if you want to join in. It's been about an hour. It looks like we're on auction 160, so that means they do about 160 per hour. There's 400 of them, so it'll be another hour or so. If you'd like to join in and be part of it, if you're a Patreon, there's a link over there. You can join in. We've got a couple of people kind of chatting along with us here, which makes it an interactive situation. That's the goal, is to use the internet and not just sit in front of it like it's some sort of TV programming you. Use the internet, expect, demand that the people you participate online get creative and use the thing that we got here to evolve our communication, our messaging.
Don't push it. Don't. Don't be someone who's trying to impose something upon someone
280 rounds of 7.62 for $130.
Because frankly, that's
So what is that, about 50 cents a round?
That's not our game. As Rollo said, and I'm going to steal this, It's authoritarianism versus.
I don't think I would sell ammo for 50 cents a round. I mean, I don't know what I paid for it, but I don't think I would want to sell it for that low. Does that seem like a deal? Would you buy ammo for 50 cents a round? What makes Persian rugs so expensive? All I know about rugs is something about the time it takes to make them, and then the characteristics of a rug versus a made or the handmade or the whatever the real made, the old-fashioned methods versus a new method is something about it. And I don't know if that has to do with just the look or if it has to do with the way that it lays and the way that it feels when you walk on it. But I think I watched something about rugs one time when I forget what kind of thing I was consulting or doing something, and I had to learn about rugs a little bit. And it was something to that effect. It had something to do with like the manufacturing process, and it's just not replicatable. You can make something look like it, but not have the experience of it, if that's the way to say it. And I might be wrong, or I'm sure I'm wrong, but I think that's what I got out of the explanation that was given to me. Beautiful hand-woven area rug features nice neutral tones with splashes of colors. This beautiful, clean area rug has small off-white fringe. Oriental Rugs of Scottsdale. The rug is in used condition. So it is 148 by 116. And then how much is it? 260 bucks? Doesn't seem that much. Oh, snap. Look at this Foot Locker. Now we're talking something interesting. So how do we get this bigger? Here we go. So trunk, locker, foot, barrack, middle of T. I never had this kind of stuff ever. So this is kind of neat. We always had like a stupid closet thing, like a thing that was upright and you had hangers in it and stuff. So I've seen these before, but only from other people who had them at home and then in movies. This is pretty cool. I would definitely own this thing. I would pay $50 for this. Let's see what it goes for. Right now, it is $30. Oh shit, I could get it for $30? I would definitely own that. I have an issue. I can't not buy crap like that though. But because I don't want to put my credit card info on here, I'm going to see if I can get it up. Just for shits and giggles. I'm going to just take this off screen real quick. Maybe I'll just bid on that. Just to see what happens. If I can. How much time have I got? 1 minute, 43 seconds. More than likely, I will not be able to bid on this because I'm feeble. But let's see. So, how do I bid on it? You know, let me bid $35. Username. Do I have a user password over there? Okay, I might not be logged in, so I guess I won't be able to buy it. What do we got next? An arms core. Something or another. Goofy looking gun. I don't think I've ever seen one of these in real life. I've seen them at gun shows and walked past them. I didn't pick it up. I definitely haven't seen this version. I've seen the rifle that's inside of there before. I would have picked it up if it had this wood on it to fiddle it with it. What do we got next? Train set. Anti-pocket barometer. Let's see what this is. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, that's just a little case that you put the barometer in. Okay. What do we got dinging over here? So we got some jewelry. That rug just got rebitted on? No, it didn't. Then we got another Arasaka coming up for 115 bucks. This has just got 3 minutes, and they're calling it a parts gun. Let's open this one up. It already is awesome. It hasn't been retouched or nothing. Looks awesome. I don't know what this thing is. It's an aftermarket thing, easily enough to remove. The top looks great. Looks stupid and dumb like it's supposed to. Oh, that's the other part. The back end is missing on this one. That might have been missing on the other one. Probably not. Look, it's got a portion of the sight. It has some of the sight. Holy crap, has that got a chrysanthemum? It's missing that piece of wood, which a lot of them are, and you can get that piece of wood probably. No, dust cover. It never has. Almost then. I've only seen a couple of dust covers. Whoa, there is no chrysanthemum. There's not a chrysanthemum. There just is not one. And it doesn't look like there ever was. Is that possible? Is that a thing? So maybe a training one or something. It also has a metal pad at the end. Was this before the war or something? I have no idea. I don't know about these things. So anyway, that thing is $100. What? Oh snap! That Foot Locker is already up to $60. So obviously people know what's good. And then the Arisaka is still at $115. Then we get the Enfield. It has still in 303. You can tell because of the magazine is curvy. The 308 magazine will be sharp. FYI, that's how you know the difference between Mausers when you look at them. Or I mean Enfields. I don't know. Here we go with this thing is about to end. It is about to end at 20 seconds at $60. If you own a collection of stuff, you got to put it in something. So what are you gonna put it in a cardboard box or some of them disposable shopping bags or a bunch of Ziplocs, like in some shoebox you find on the side of the road? You're gonna wrestle a bum for their box from a refrigerator or something, or you're gonna put it in a vintage U.S. Army Reserve military footlocker for $60. Next up is that Arisaka is gonna go for $115. That's something like, I don't remember what I paid for mine, but that would be kind of like how I got mine. Except I had a dust cover and a sight, I think. And I think I had that piece of wood. I don't remember. I must have made a video before I sold it. Can't remember if I sold it to Foose or what's his face, who never came around and put me in 2A in Connecticut. Oh, it sold for $115. Amazing. Amazing. We're watching this happen. There's a whole mess of 40 ammo. I don't even think this should be legal. 40 ammo is more dangerous than, 40 brass is more dangerous than 9mm loaded ammo. And you can buy 6,000 rounds of it for $150. 6,400 rounds. Are you kidding me?
So mad I just turned around and walked out. Because they told me that's not what you want to buy. And I'm like, okay, that is exactly what I want to buy.
I hate it when chicks don't like to be mansplained to. I feel like they don't even know. So then, what are we waiting for here? Some trains going, and then a barometer. Oh, this Enfield or whatever. $430. I think mine sold for less than that. Dang it. I only own this gun because of, because I got it for really cheap one time, and I wanted to shove a bayonet. So I sold it, and it was no big deal. Did I ever even shoot it? No, I don't think I ever even shot that gun. I don't care about an Enfield. Enfields can go suck it. And that's a 303 one. So unless you bought all that ammo earlier, you can also suck it yourself because you're not even going to find ammo for that thing. An assortment of 1,500 wheat cents for $660. That's less than the price of the pennies. I don't know how to do math good, but I feel like that's a deal. I wouldn't trust that that's 100% wheat pennies, though. Anybody could fill a bag with mud and say that it's a bunch of wheat pennies and charge you $16 for it. I would want to see a video where they hand count and verify every penny. What's all this about? Vintage polyethylene miniature models. What? What are we talking about here? These are like tiny Matchbox cars of farming stuff and some kind of road roller. Oh, like a steam shovel, like a steamroller, a forklift truck, a dump truck, a farm tractor. These are amazing. There's a whole slew of them. They're not all different. And how much are these things? 35 bids. Miniatures from the 1950s. These are made in Hong Kong and still in the original boxes. Some of the models are dump trucks, farm truck, road roller, and forklift. 72 total miniatures. All of these appear to be in the box. Oh, $270. I thought that was going for cheap. That's old rich people buying this for their rich grandkids, probably. Here, play with this antique toy, little baby. That's what rich people do. Let's see. Then we get 380, 150 rounds for $100. That's back to being Blazer again. What's this? I'd take that can in a second. I don't know what's going on with that. Malio? Mal 10, 1083? Explosives? Confinement explosive, maybe? Mixed belt? I don't know what this is for, but it's cool. I like it. Probably for a saw, I think. I would take that can, though. I went up there and looked around at all their cans at AZ Firearms, and I wish I had money. Because I would acquire a ton of ammo cans. They don't really cost that much. And they're awesome. But I would take that ammo can off whoever buys that. If you don't want it, buy all the ammo and give me the can. Feel free. Let's see. Now we have another Enfield. This one is sporterized. Still, it's 303. So, and it's sporterized. So, but that's what people did because it's legal. What else we got? Lancer mags. Consigner noted, these are types for Thermold. Ooh. So Thermold magazines. 11 of them are going for $85. Are we betting in stuff now? Gotcha is the handmade part. I think so.
As far as bringing people into like the community, the one thing I hate is the boxes, just the check boxes. We got to put everybody in their own little box somewhere, right? And then we can put them in whatever box.
We got a 44 Magnum Marlin coming up.
It's like the first sentence
$600.
6 sentences into the conversation, they're in a different box. It's like, just stop. Just stop. Take them as a person.
Gonna have a Ruger 1022 with a goofy looking mag on it. Gonna have an M1 carbine coming up. Let's see what's going on with that. A Winchester.
Right? And if you're gonna offer to help them out, take them to the range. Keep all of that non-firearm related stuff. Just keep it out of it. Now, if they bring it up and it's something you have in common, they bring up religion, and you go to a big church.
Looks pretty nice. I don't know what's wrong with it. It looks nice. It's probably like a never used after the war.
Political issues that align with you, and that's a common thing, right?
It says a Winchester M1 rechambered in 30 carbine, chambered in 30 carbine, used as a supplemental rifle for rear echelon troops and vehicle. Oh, this is just saying in general. I thought it was given an exact story of it or something. It says this example has a new production stock and barrel, appears to be in full working order and in excellent condition. Oh, okay. So this is a new production stock. That's why it looks so good. I thought maybe it was an after the war, never used type of model. They sometimes look all nice like that. So we'll see what that one goes for. Right now it is at $975. Wow. That is not cheap. 762 by 50R, 54R in stripper clips. So you get a bunch of 54R stripper clips. Sometimes those cost $3 a piece, as much as that. Got a Stevens other kind of rifle. U-25 more. We got some kind of Walther P22. We have a Sears and Roebuck shotgun that's only at $75 right now. An Iver Johnson old gun for $90. Oh, a 22 Sporter for $230. New Haven pump.
Safety. But get them on the trigger and get them shooting as quickly as possible.
Roosevelt dimes. Ooh, a Smith and Wesson Model 1. $220. Type one of these. So mine doesn't work.
Because we all know that the vast majority of people get them behind the trigger.
That's the first bored through cylinder full cartridge gun. Well, the second one. Well, no, I guess the first one. Just the second model of the first one.
Right?
Pretty cool.
Before they
$200
get through
bucks.
with
You
that
could have the
magazine,
first
that revolver cylinder,
revolver that had a bored through
Most
cylinder that
people
used
are-
an actual cartridge.
unless you put
From back in the day. It's literally vintage for $200.
It's silly.
Oh, what do you got there? Oh, just
Yeah,
the
as far as,
first bored through cylinder revolver ever made that actually took cartridges. 22 short,
Yeah.
which is the best cartridge ever made.
well,
Oh, really? Can I shoot
that's
it?
true, but
Sure.
sometimes
Here.
you have to think of
That's what it would be like if you had it.
Well, let's start small with this one. We'll get there.
Yeah. You know, I've had kids that were ready for shotgunning, or they were ready for that 12 gauge, or they're ready, and they weren't. And when it come down to it, they weren't. They thought they were.
Got those magazines look like they closed out at $9 a piece, which is probably fair. They're not the best magazines, but that's a decent price for
And even if
these days.
even if you see it, you know, and say, yeah, you know.
All right, so what else do we got going on here? Some ammo and that 545 again. We got that Stevens. Oh, I already did a whole bunch of jumps to see what all we got coming. 250 rounds of 8mm Mauser in belts. It's kind of interesting. Winchester brass. SKS. Another one of those coming up. This one's got the bayonet on it. Yeah, Smith & Wesson 422, 22 caliber pistol coming up. It's like a little 22 bolt gun for a youngin at $30. Leave that for a youngin. 1,000 rounds of 7.62 by 31 or 40, yeah, by 51 blanks, 308 blanks. Bought those trains for my dad. He's into that kind of thing for some reason. I'll have a good Father's Day. All right, that's cool, dude. I'm sure the Pot of Gold auctions will appreciate it. I'm not like working for them or nothing, but they are awesome people, good family, good business, and I'm sure anything helps with getting moving items for their consigners. Is that what they would be called? I'm guessing a lot of these are collections. I've been thinking about taking some of my stuff up there. My problem is getting everything up there. They're 2 hours away. Chinese souvenir dog handles. I don't know what that means. A Turkish Ankara Mauser bolt action rifle, an 8mm. So if you bought all that 8mm ammo, now you'd have something to use with it. This is kind of neat. I never thought about collecting bandoliers, but those are neat, kind of a purple color. So if you bought these things, would you shoot them or would you keep them in those bandoliers as a collector's item to hand off to the next and the next and the next? I would never shoot this ammo, ever. I would definitely keep it as is. Never shoot that. I mean, unless you had to, but there's no way you would ever get to that. I would definitely keep that ammo. Uh-oh, look at this. Is this legal? This is legal to ship to sell? I had a box of this stuff one time. That is an awesome ammo can. I wish I had that. So this is Israeli ammo. I've got some that's like printed in purple. It's weird and it freaked me out because I didn't know what it was. All I could see was this thing that was either a 9 or a 6. And turns out it was Israeli 9mm. But I think it was weird. Red tip or something. I don't know what that meant. It's tracer or something. Definitely be cool to have that ammo can. $490 for 1,200 rounds. Oh, finally got somebody in here. I don't have to talk the whole damn time. Have you been watching any of these?
No, I just got on.
What's happening?
You been listening to Clover at all? I mean, Ghost Show at all?
No, I have not. I basically just got home from work a little bit ago, ate some dinner, and now I'm here. So I'm out of the loop. I did see an Instagram post, I think yours, about Ghost Show. Looks like a good lineup. Bunch of good people in there.
Yeah, they're still live. Tony left because the show wasn't 2A enough for like authentic 2A. But for somebody who's like learning or somebody that's, old and feeble at 2A, it's a medium level 2A show. So, no, I'm just kidding. Tony left because of his podcast, and they got Yuta, Locked and Loaded, both of them, and Budget in there with Clover and Ghost. And I've only been barely listening because they're talking about all kinds of stuff right now, and I've been watching the auction, but the auction's been a little lacking because of the guns are sparse right now. Let me scroll back up. But you haven't been watching the auction and stuff? So I'm guessing you don't have any stuff you're eyeballing or anything.
No. I don't even know what that auction is.
So Cheryl Todd and Dan Todd that do Gun Freedom Radio.
Okay, yeah, I know that name, Cheryl Todd. I've met her.
Okay, so they have had a gun shop called AZ Firearms, which was actually a really nice gun shop. And they recently closed the shop and devoted it to facilitating their auctions, which are collectibles and firearms. So this auction is their live auction, happens every Tuesday. And that's what I'm doing is I'm watching their auction happen live. It's an online auction. So it's sort of like, is it like eBay happening really fast? Like it's eBay, all the auctions are set to end here, sequentially. So as each one ends, if someone wants to bid on it, like this is a bunch of ammo and it just ended. This is something that's ending and it's got 15 seconds. This one has 34. Each of these things has its own countdown timer. If nobody bids on them, they'll just end like every 10 seconds or something. But as people bid, the new price level happens and then they add 2 minutes to it. So what happens is they start to kind of shuffle and juggle as people bid on things at the end of their auction span. And then other things just bid out, like if they didn't get any bids or if nobody's, no longer bidding on them. So it's interesting to just sit here and watch it live because some things, as they get multiple bids, will just kind of park here for a while and just grow in value. And then other things will just come up, never get bid on, and just end. So right now, there's a 450 item auction with 45 guns. So it was like 1 out of every 10 things was a gun anyway. So I've just been watching Ghost Show and paying attention to some of the other things because some of them have been ammo and stuff that's interesting, but a lot of it is like this vase. I'm sure you really care about this vase, but I'm not so interested in this vase.
Oh, so it's really like just whatever they have laying around.
Well, I think it's for consignment. So if I wanted to go up there with like the stuff that my grandparents left me and some stuff that I'd collected, it would have, an eclectic collection of stuff in the auction. But I think that's what it's for, is people that just say, here's a bunch of things that I think other people might want. And then they send it up. Now, they do certain themed auctions occasionally, and this, I think, is not one of them. This is just a gun, jewelry, and coin auction, which is, I think, pretty much most Tuesdays.
Now, with it being so often, what do the prices look like? Like, the stuff seem like it goes pretty cheap, or do people get like from the seller's point of view, do you think they get decent value by doing it?
That's one of the reasons I'm watching, because I do need to sell a bunch of stuff, and things like guns, I either have to put them on Gunbroker, take them to a local shop on consignment, or do something like this. So I don't know enough guns that I would understand the value of, haven't gone by, and I don't know if I'm you know what I mean? Like if I haven't seen enough stuff that's in even my realm to know if I'm even anywhere near zoned in on what prices are now. So for example, now a bunch of 9mm brass is being sold. 5,000 9mm brass. So what would you think that's worth?
I know exactly what that's worth because my dad took it to the scrapyard and got me $30. Thanks, Dad.
Oh, really?
No, I'm not so bitter about it. Swear to God, I'm fuming when I found out.
Well, it just sold for 300, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I was very mad, but I couldn't say too much because they've done so much work on my house for me that I was like, oh, thanks, I guess. I did say, oh, I wish you wouldn't have done that, but I didn't say it like mean. But you can tell I've totally gotten over it because it happened like a year ago, but I'm like totally over it now. Not bitter at all.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that happened years and years ago. It just happened in the whole catastrophe of all the craziness. Yep. That's an extra level of like, dang it, at least ask the question before you do something.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now you get my frustration because like,
and it's usually if your parents are like mine, it's like, hey, remember that garbage bag you had when you were 13? I'm thinking about throwing it away. It's like, I don't care. And then it's like, hey, remember you had a one shoe from that one time? And then I think I found the other one. Like, I don't care. And then it's like, oh, I didn't tell you about how I threw away all your Star Wars figures because you normally don't care about things. I'm like, right? You get that kind of situation happening?
Yes, that's basically what's going on. And like I said, it was around the time I did authorize them to hold a garage sale in my honor. But that's, like I said, everything else was exactly what you said. Hey, do you still want these plates? Like, no, I got stuff. I'm fine. Oh, what about the couch? Like, no, I don't care. Go for it. Someone wants to just give it to them. I don't care.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That,
we have. Remember that canoe full of lead that you had, or like that canoe full of sand? Do you want us to send that to you? No, I can do without a thing of rocks. But thanks anyway. And then it's like, oh well, I just assumed you didn't want any of your toys either. Like what? All right, I just assumed you didn't want any of your books either. Like oh.
Yeah, we sold your car for $10. What?
Well, your car's heavy too.
Yeah, that's like I was starting to say. You know, my dad's a gun dude. Like I've been shooting with him. He's kind of who got me into it. I think I've surpassed him. I definitely have on the 2A side of things, but he just, you know, doesn't have his finger on the pulse. So when I was like, because then that was the answer was, well, I mean, if you want, I can like, you know, buy some more ammo and then like we can shoot it together and then you can keep that brass. I'm like, that's still a good plan, but you do realize that, you know, a friggin' box of ammo is $50 now and it used to be $10. That's the problem. That's why I wanted to keep having the empty brass because I have a reloading setup. Now I have I forget how much I had, like 5,000 projectiles and a bunch of powder, and I don't have any brass to put it in. And I don't want to like buy the brass because then once you do that, it's kind of the same price as just like buying reloads from Freedom Munitions or something. Like it starts getting close and you put in a bunch of work to only save a couple cents per round. I don't know, whatever. I'm just being bitter. I've been grumpy all day. I should probably stop.
Ivor Johnson, 32 caliber from the olden days, right? It doesn't say, but you know, probably the 20s or something. What would you pay for an Ivor Johnson break top 32? It says it has some age, but it says the beard to be in good condition.
I wouldn't even know what to guess. So what I would pay, like $50.
50? Less than a minute. $90 right now. 15 bid. Oh no, it's over. You can't even bid on it. So it went for $90. Next up is this AK thing that is in 22 long rifle. It is goofy as goofy can be. They came out in about 2005, something like that. They're from the Philippines, from Arms Corps. They're blowback, and I don't know what they were thinking, but no, none of them sold. Here's one now. And again, if you're a collector of like the actual stuff that was happening in time, like a museum or something, museum piece type of stuff, like this is amazing. What happened? Like they loaded left, why'd they leave? So $250, that's amazing. I almost considered getting one at about the $90 level, and then I didn't because I didn't want it in there bothering my other guns in the safe, and there's nothing that you can do to it. It's huge and sharp and goofy. So, you know, and I had to put it in the safe because it's a gun or whatever. I felt like I would have, so I never bought one. And I only would have made it twice, you know, I would have, if I bought one for $90, I would have sold it for $260. Oh, snap, it just got bid on for $260. But I doubt it'll go much higher than that, except for, again, somebody who wants to collect the oddities or whatever.
So you're saying as actual like useful firearm, it's not really worth it.
Wait,
I mean,
you
it's kind
said-
of K-22. That's kind of neat. It's fun to play with.
no, it isn't. What did you say first though? You were waffled. I couldn't hear.
Oh, sorry. I just said there's something to kind of play with or whatever would be kind of fun.
No. Before that, you said something. Anyway, no, I don't know if you remember because that's 2 sentences ago, but whatever. It's not. It looks kind of like it would be a functional gun, but like everything about this is clunky. Have you ever had like a Chinese BB gun? Like an actual Chinese BB gun?
No, but I think I can kind of imagine.
Yeah, I mean, like a Chinese shovel, like a Harbor Freight Chinese tool that's inexpensive. I mean, it kind of crudely resembles the real thing, but it is not anywhere near the fit and finish of the real thing. That's what this is. I mean, it's from the Philippines, not China, so it's a little better, but it's just so clunky and weird. The spaces involved and the things that they did to kind of wrap around to make it look like an AK, and then the weight of it. Like I say, for maybe a movie or something, it might work if you needed it to action or something, but no, not as a. It was never. It would have taken off if it was at all fun or easy to shoot. It was like complicated and frustrating to shoot, I would say. Definitely a specimen piece, not a useful like range or recreation piece, I guess. Unless you like fiddling. I guess if you like fiddling, that's a thing. You're allowed to do that. New Haven pump action in 410. I don't have a 410. If I was acquiring, oh, it's $300. If I was acquiring stuff still, a pump action 410, would you get one?
I don't know. Like I shoot my 12 gauge. I don't see how I would shoot a 410.
Well, because a 410 is like a J frame compared to a big frame. It's like all the same workings and mechanisms, so it's strong, especially a Remington. It'll be strong, but it's all smaller, like it's narrower and lighter weight. So for like injuries, or if you're just weak, right? Maybe you've been shooting a lot of 9mm and your arm strength is gone, or you're giving it to someone of smaller stature, or you get old, or again, just you're not feeling it. You want to shoot a smaller gun, but have the exact same form factor, but also not sacrifice, steel and actual well-fit, made gun to buy a garbage lookalike junk. I could see having a 410, because the other thing is I've been smoked by old guys with 410s before. And I guess they were pumps. I honestly don't remember. Probably pumps. But I know they're effective. I've just seen people use a 410 like a scalpel. So once you know what you can do, then all you need is those 410s. You know what I mean? You don't need the rest of the 12 gauge once you're skilled to where you hit what you're hitting at or pointing at. But I don't know about 310. If money was no issue, I would think 310 doesn't seem like a lot of money for a gun. I don't think they make them anymore. Oh, I guess it's a New Haven. What am I saying? I thought it was a Remington. But I don't know if you can buy a Remington, so a whole bunch of I don't knows in that. I would say if we knew people that sport shotgun, they would know.
Yeah, I would just say I'm not very good with the 12, so I certainly wouldn't be good with the 410.
Hold on, though. Are you not good with the 12 because you're fighting it at all? Or are you not good because you're like, I don't know, like not coordinated? I'm just thinking, there's probably somebody who's a good coach could put a different tool in your hand and you'd be different. You'd do differently at the sport, I would think. And that's where maybe a 410 would make you better. You know what I'm saying? If you're fighting the 12 gauge somehow, maybe the less metal of a 410 would get rid of that from you. So now we're talking a Smith & Wesson Model 1, the first bored through cylinder, little 22 shorts. So basically Smith & Wesson made the Volcanic and it wasn't, didn't work good. Oh, it just got sold. So it must have sold for $260 while I was blabbing. They made the Volcanic. The Volcanic didn't work. They gave it to Winchester. He further developed it into a lever action rifle. But Smith & Wesson tried over again and went with the bored through cylinder on a revolver. So they took Colt's revolver, put the bored through cylinder from Hunt, got the licenses and everything needed to make that, used their own 22 short, which was the first in the United States rimfire self-contained cartridge, put those three things together, and then boom, the modern revolver. And that was an example of the first model ever for $200. I think that was the buy of the night. I would like to own that gun. But I don't know enough about them to know if that particular one was a specimen or not. It's better than the one I have. The one I have looks like it should be in the dug up gun museum, like it was underneath the ground for a while and somebody found it or something. Like it is barely, you could barely tell what it actually was supposed to be originally. It is all rusted up. Anyhow, so now we've got a bunch of stuff for girls and old people. See if we get any. We got an SKS coming. 23 bids. You in the market for an SKS?
No.
How
I'm not
about
in the market for anything right now.
how about a Smith & Wesson Model 422? Would you be in the market for such a thing if you were in the market for such a thing?
I don't know. What is that?
It looks like some goofy old Smith & Wesson from back in the olden days. Can you see on the screen? It's like a goofy high bore axis. No, I guess it's the low bore axis, but with the slide on top. Goofy 22 Smith. I mean, I'm sure it's made well, but I don't know what they never consulted me when they made any Smith automatic. Let's just put it that way. I'm okay with their revolvers, but I have never signed off on a Smith & Wesson semi-auto yet. I don't like any of them. And old ones or new ones. It's like they look at everybody else and go, we can see what works and we can see what's popular, and we're going to do something that's neither one of those somehow. And they do that every single time.
But at least we're different.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're not the same. We're definitely a third choice, which is, kind of cool in a way. But yeah. Do I even own a Smith & Wesson semi? I have owned them. I'm pretty sure I've sold it by now, though. I'm almost positive I sold it by now. It was okay. The new model, M&P or whatever they're called. But so now we got some 7.62 by 54R. We got more of that 8mm. Lots of that stuff going on. You were about to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say when you said the M&P, I do like the M&P Shield. I'd like to own one at some point. It's gonna be a good, single stack carry. If I don't feel like carrying a big gun.
So you're going to carry around you're going to contemplate carrying around a single stack gun when all there is every single moment there's a new Wonder 9. They're going to come out with a quad stack Wonder 9 somehow to have 30 rounds in the size of whatever you're carrying in a single stack. With all those double stack 9mm Wonder 9s that are probably the exact same size but just heavier than yours, you're going to go with a single stack 9 still?
Maybe. I don't think you can double stack that thin, is all. I could be wrong.
I mean, I don't know. I don't pay that much attention, but it sounds to me like they're all acting like these new double stacks are just as same size as the old ones, or very similar, right? But maybe I'm wrong. I thought that's what everybody's saying.
I could be. I mean, I was looking at that a few years ago. I just haven't gotten around to getting it.
But I wouldn't get a Smith anyway. I would go for one of them SIGs, where they got the chassis instead of the stupid whole polymer part. Instead of having to buy all that as a gun, just buy the chassis little insert as a gun. Or you don't like that style or that concept?
Oh no, that concept's fine. I don't know that I've ever shot one of those though, so I don't know what it's like.
Yeah,
I'm
me
a
either.
big try before I buy it type person. I don't buy something unless I've already researched the crap out of it.
Yeah, I haven't shot them either, but I'm assuming there's so many people that swear by them that they must shoot okay. You know what I mean? Like they have to shoot at least in some sort of range that enough people are willing to accept them that you can't, it must, I'm sure I'll be okay with it. I'm not the type that's like, I can handle it if it's in this small parameter, like if the grip angle has to be like this and then I'm okay, or the bore axis has to be like this or I'm okay. But also, I guess there is a little bit of how it shoves onto you. Like if it's if it shoots good and it's easy to aim and it's comfortable or something, but then you go to wear it and it somehow, for some reason, jams out of you funny and it looks like you got a goiter or something, you never know and all that stuff until you try it out, right?
Right. And that's the only gun that I've ever concealed carry has been my CZ-75. So it's not the end of the world for me to carry a big, heavy metal gun. And that's where I was just looking at, well, maybe if I ever want like a super tiny one, that's what I was thinking, that single stack, like, it's like it doesn't even exist. If I'm used to the CZ, that thing will be like not even on there. But like I said, that was a few years ago, and I kind of forgot about it for a while. So who knows? I'll get something someday.
So now we're going to go over here, and he goes, I love AKs, but that slant on the stock makes everything look wrong. Oh, on the stock. Okay. On the Mac 90s, I guess is what he was saying. And the thing is,
22.
Oh, on that 22 one, that was goofy. Yeah, that one was weird. But it was trying to emulate the actual AK-47, not an AKM. Like 99% of what we think of as an AK is an AKM. The original AK-47 was a little goofier, a little clunkier looking, and it had that weird angle like that. I'm not sure what the hell they were thinking with that angle. They quickly went away from it, obviously. What are you thinking of these vintage white porcelain figurines of a polar bear and a snow otter? Made in Russia.
I don't know. I have a bunch of those little ones that came in like the tea boxes. I forget what they call those.
Oh, you mean like drinking tea?
Yeah, but like my mom used to drink tea, and then she would get like the little monkey and a little camel, a little zebra.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like tiny, like what you'd put on a bracelet or something.
I mean, they're bigger than that. They're maybe the size of your thumb.
Oh, well, then I haven't seen those, I guess. I think, but you're talking like a part of the packaging more than like anything.
Well, it was just in the box with the thing.
Oh no, I'm thinking of something different then. I've seen them like dangling on this like cord, like part of the packaging to help identify it on the shelf or something. And I figured, maybe they take that off and make earrings out of it or something because they're little. But anyway, yeah, I see what you're trying to.
Yeah, but I don't know. I actually just like bought a bunch on eBay. Were pretty cheap because I don't know what happened to the ones that I had when I was a kid. I was feeling nostalgic.
One time, here, I want to see what I bought one time. See if I can find. Let me double check. We're not going to miss a good gun. Oh, that SKS is coming, so I'm going to watch it. So $430. This is Norinco again. Just basically virgin import. Looks nice and red. Doesn't look like ever took out of the box. I mean, if it's been shot, it's been cleaned well. So I'm guessing it's never been shot. Oh, nice. It's got a couple of weird Chinese characters on it. I think that's neat. The one thing that we're not seeing, which would be nice, is to see a top shot of the dust cover. When you look down at the dust cover on an SKS, let's see if we're going to get that picture or not. You'll get a square with a slanted line through it. So it looks sort of like what we would call square feet, like the designation for square feet in the United States. And we're not going to get that. It would be right around here, punched into or roll marked into the thing, and that's an indication of remanufactured, like it had gone back to the factory in China after some sort of a situation. And I find those to be typical. I think those more interesting because they might have actually been used to kill things, people, us. So this is not. This is just made in a factory. It does have some Chinese characters, and it looks like it's about to be gone for $450. So I think that all that brass just went for more than this SKS is going to go for.
I mean, that's a pretty slick looking gun. I wouldn't mind having that.
It's a virgin import. So would you shoot it, or would you set it on the wall and give it to your kids as an unfired virgin import?
I would shoot it.
What?
I would shoot it.
Oh. Look how light it is by you. Is it really that light by you?
When you stand up, it should still be able to.
Oh, I forgot. I blacked out the place. I forgot I blacked out everything. because I was like, "Oh, it's dark here." It's not though. It just got rebid. No, it's still at 460. So you're saying you would shoot this virgin imported gun? Like it's basically unfired. I cannot understand why somebody would pay a premium and buy an unfired item, take it out of the inventory of items that are still yet untouched, and then touch it, and deal with it, and mess it all up and ruin it. I mean, I guess it's your right or whatever because we're free and blah, 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 and capitalism and stuff, but I don't get it. But I guess it's like you don't care about what's good and tradition and history and value or anything.
That one's probably not the one for me then, because I get stuff
See,
because I
that's
want
the
to use
thing.
it.
Wouldn't you rather pay $300 for one that's been shot like 15 times, which is basically the same? But the thing is, this is going to get no additional value. It's about to end for 460. So to me, that is an insulting price to the Chinese. I feel like we've just insulted the Chinese by letting that gun go for $460.
So what do you think it should go for? You think
I have
the
no
price
idea. It
another
just see- it
$200 or
seems like-
something?
I don't know. That's the thing. I hear about $700 SKSs, but I don't know. I mean, I hope that went to somebody who is a virgin import collector and it's going to go into or onto a wall or something and then just be there for like a museum to one day have, or just a bunch of collectors to appreciate and use as reference. But who knows what somebody's going to do with it these days? The thing is, what would you do with an SKS? What are you going to lighten it up by chopping it all down? The things that were possible to do to an SKS have already been done. And if any of them were proved effective, right, then all SKSs would have been like kind of modified to that situation, I would think. So I think that what you got is a bunch of SKSs that were wasted in vain trying to look for the perfect scenario. None of them were ever found. And what you got is a void of SKSs. Again, an insult to China. That Smith & Wesson Model 422 went for $360, which I believe is less than an SKS. So that's an insult to Smith & Wesson. It's an insult to the 22 caliber, and it's an insult to American manufacturing. 45 ACP, 150 rounds of brass, full metal jacket. Any interest? Smeggy?
No, I don't own a 45.
Oh my goodness. So what? Now you need to own the gun in order to have the bullets? I don't even understand that. I don't fathom that, but I get like I don't want your quarters because my pockets only hold nickels. I don't get it.
What the heck am I going to do with it? I mean, if I'm
dollar bills, I'd rather have pennies, please. I know what to do with pennies. I don't want your dollar bills.
Yeah, I'll take 200 pennies instead of $1 bill.
Yeah, okay, I'm down with that. If they're wheat pennies. Oh, now we get a gun without a bolt. So this is good for California. I'm okay with this being in California. There's no bolt, no firing pin, no carrier.
Does that count as a gun, though? I mean, that's still a gun, right?
So to the receiver, yeah.
Yeah, so you still can't buy it.
Well, I think it would be cool if a little kid bought it, but it's $30. It would be cool if that gun sold for like $12 to a little girl, and then she could go out and find the bolt for it and the rest, and then whittle it, or I don't know what girls do to guns. Probably paint it pink, try to make it into a small revolver, I guess, because that's what girls do. But that would be cool to have like a little project gun for a kid to learn how to be a gunsmith on it. Why are you looking at me like that?
So you're saying Night Strike should buy it?
Does he have a little niece or something?
Well, no. Doesn't he want to be a gunsmith and you need guns to practice on?
He's already a gunsmith. He's gone to school. And I don't know what he used. I think he told me whenever him and Barbecue were in a chat one time, they were telling me about this stuff. Because when you're a gunsmith and you go to school, you got to collect up. I think you don't have to, but I think they would like you to collect up a bunch of stuff like this. So that, you're going to have stuff to work on. My dog's looking at me funny. I think she's looking at me in the way that a cartoon dog would look at someone as a pork chop when they're hungry. So I feel like I'm going to pour her some little chunks of buffalo so that I don't get ate. Hold on.
My dog's looking at me like, you gonna throw this?
What?
But my dog's looking at me like, you gonna throw this thing or what?
Your dog didn't hear that dog food being poured?
Nah, I got my earphone in.
Oh. So let's see. That little gun went. Now we have 250 links of 308. That's kind of neat. Oh, it's in a British. No, it's not. What is this can? I also want this can. So, oh snap! What is this can? I don't even know what can this is. I want it a lot now. I don't know what it is. Unless I'm wrong and it's just because it's brown, it's freaking me out. But I'm thinking it's South African or English because if it's brown. I'm thinking it's for a belt-fed machine gun because of the way it's got a single round on the top like that. And the cover looks like it's designed to come off and set on a belt-fed gun. Huh?
Well, I was gonna say, and you got a bunch of rounds in there on a belt, right? So.
Yeah, but it's definitely in this auction for sure. They have not been consistent with the can and the gun and the stuff inside the can. But in this case, it definitely could be. I mean, I don't know. It's English. It's Europe, so there's no way to know. They don't even keep track of their own names and shit in Europe. I don't know what they do over there. But maybe somebody here keeps track of how their ammo is used. And also, I don't know what this is for. This looks like a PKM belt to me. No, it doesn't. Wait. I think it could be a PKM belt. I don't know. I don't know if a PKM belt has this lead or not in it. I don't think of what's the other one? A PKD? No. The one I have doesn't have that lead, and I'm pretty sure my belt is for the other one, the older one. I see people sell those links for $2 each, no bullets. Oh, really? I would definitely like to get them because that's how I display my 7.62 by 39 ammo is in these belts. Like you bought a thing ammo off me that one time, 30 rounds of all different. They're on stripper clips that are different, but if you bought one of these belts from like a PKM or a, I can't think of the other damn one. The PKD? No, Yeah, I must be getting to where my brain is dead now. I lost this part of my brain where I keep track of the RPD. Holy crap, it took me like an hour and a half to remember what an RPD is. So anyway, if you get an RPD belt, you could put those 30 rounds in it and it would hold them so in a way that it's a non-disintegrating belt, so they don't fall apart when you put them in there. If you're missing one, you can take it out and look at it and the whole belt doesn't fall apart or segment. And they're in there in a way that you can see the whole side. I guess I already talked too long before it's over. But a lot of most of our disintegrating belts, the links go all the way around the cartridge. So even when you have them in there as a collection, you're really screwing the bullet over. You're getting it all scraped up, but you're also not seeing much of it. You're seeing the primer and the rim, and you're seeing the neck and the bullet projectile, but you're missing all that inside part, and there's nothing really going on there. But in those Russian belts that aren't disintegrating, they just sort of C-clamp onto the bullet, so you get to see, and it makes the ammo collection much more interesting visually, I think. All right, so now we got this.
Being on the clips, because then I set the clips up with all the bullets like facing up, so it's like sitting on the ground like that, and then you can see them all.
And those clips are each different, so I think that's neat too. The problem with that is when they're on the stripper clip is that you can't see the primer cap, primer sealants, and the primers themselves are all a little bit different color because of the brass or whatever material makeup is all a little bit different, and the cases are different. So the clash of primer color and the case is interesting on 7.62s, but the primer sealant, the goop that they use to fill the primer so that it doesn't get wet or whatever, that's always green or red usually, and because of the different combos, it's really cool to look at 7.62 by 39 or probably any of the Russian stuff from its head stamps, like in a box or something where you have them all just next to each other. But you lose that in the stripper clip, unfortunately, because it covers up the primers completely. Some kind of Turkish Mauser bolt rifle in 8mm. Would you want this gun?
I don't looks cool.
Yeah, you can keep it. You can have it. It's an 8mm, so it's automatically shitty, and it's Turkish, so it's shitty, and it's from like World War I or something, so it's shitty. I don't want it. It's in a Mauser, and I don't want it. So yeah, I leave these for other people, and then hopefully they leave my stuff for me.
Well, I guess that's just selfish because I'll take whatever.
Nope, G23 just grabbed it, so he's got it. But
Okay, you can have it.
I would definitely, going back to the links now that I know it's an RPD link, if you can actually find RPD links for me for $2, I'm in for like $20 worth. So I would definitely use those for my ammo collection. So now, where's Bob? We got 4 BZ58 magazines, the real ones, in a leather pouch. So guessing from the 70s.
So, accoutrement.
But I don't know what this base plate is. Maybe that's right. I don't go around knowing what the base plates look like. What do you mean accoutrement? The bag itself, or are you talking like one of those little cleaning kits or something?
No, I'm talking about the bag itself. I was just making fun of Dano.
Oh, okay. So aluminum painted in that kind of a blue color. These used to be dime a dozen. Like you'd see these things at gun shows all the time, and it was hilarious. For a couple of years, it was hilarious because everybody was just getting AKs because the assault weapons ban ended. This is 2006. This is before most of the internet. So you would go to go to a gun show, and somebody'd be like, "All right, I bought an AK-47." Right? I'm looking around, I'm going to go buy me some magazines, and then they'd see a pile of these things on somebody's table, because, inevitably somebody's got a table of nothing but magazines, right? And they'll have this big pile of magazines, and people don't know nothing yet because they just bought their gun. So they see these things, they look just like AK-47 mags from 6 feet away, and they're cheap, and there's plenty of them, and they look kind of cool because they're kind of a cool blue paint, and they're aluminum, so, you know what I mean? They're just interesting, they'll catch your eye. And inevitably, you just sit there watching. And when you're at a gun show and you're sitting at the table and nobody's buying anything from you, because, once in a while somebody will buy something from you. Every once in a while somebody will look at your table. And the rest of the time you're bored off your mind. So you have nothing else to do except watch what people are doing at gun shows. And if you're close to a table where they have had these back in the 2006 era, a couple years after the assault weapons ban ended and everybody's buying their stuff, but they don't know nothing yet, and there's no internet to really tell them yet, it was hilarious. People would buy these things, well, pick them up, go over there, say something, and then inevitably go set them back down. Or grab them, there's just some version of that, and it was funny. Anyway, they were a dime a dozen because nobody had a BZ58. They will not fit in an AK mag, or an AK period. They can't be modified or anything. So effectively, they were just garbage for a long time and just like a thing for collectors to have. Then the BZ58 showed up, so the supply dried up immediately, and now they're worth $90 for 4 magazines. I would say that kit together at a show back in the era I'm talking about was like $16.97 or something. It was something less than $20 because an AK set would be $25 or something for like 4 AK mags in the pouch. So those are probably a significant way to make some money. I was looking at these when I was doing this earlier, these Turkish Mauser 8mm bandoliers. So let's say you've had these, someone gave them to you. Is Maggie still in here? Would you shoot these or would you not shoot these bandoliers full of ammo?
It depends. Am I allowed to buy that 8mm Mauser from earlier or no?
Oh, I mean, yeah, assuming you had the gun or whatever. Would you shoot this ammo? Yeah, assuming you had the gun, would you shoot this ammo?
Oh, probably not.
Why? Because it's collectible?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I think it would be crazy.
I feel like you're spending more on it because it comes like that versus you just buy a box of 8mm somewhere.
Yeah, that somebody made out of reloads or something, right?
Yeah.
But I have no idea if that's even like a thing. It looks like they're going to go for $100 for 200 rounds, which isn't that much considering some of the other ammo that's been going for 50 cents a round. So this is a 25-cent Manic timing meter. Oh, a meter-matic. So this would have been some sort of a meter that you put on a device to let you use something for some amount of time, like a machine or a thing. That's interesting. 0 bids, $0. Can't handle shit like that. I can't be around auctions that have 0 bids and $0. That's how I'm feeble with money, and I will end up buying crap just because I can buy it cheap.
That's kind of my philosophy. If I ever like went to an auction or something, is everything's worth $1.
Yeah, seriously. You can always sell this for more than 0 on eBay, right? But it's also just neat, and it'd be cool to fiddle with it for 0. Like, okay, well, I was interested in spending some time fiddling with a thing that costs 0. Except it would probably cost at least 1, and then it would cost tax on 1, and then I'd have to go get it. So I guess it's not really 0. But it's about to end with no bids. I feel like if you bought that for 1, and then you put it on something and charged 1 quarter, you would immediately make 24. So, no-brainer. The first time somebody used it, you'd make 24. The second time, you might as well retire, right? Third time, you're done. You're now rich and you're traveling the world. 250 rounds, 8 millimeters. Let's see if we got any more guns coming. We do have a Mossberg 22 coming. I think I might have had one of those at one time. We got a whole bunch of more bandoliers coming, so if you got pissed that you didn't buy these bandoliers, that just went, oh yeah, that one went for nothing. Somebody was like, well, I guess I'm going to sell my 25-cent meter Amatic and, you know, maybe get that operation and save my leg. And then they're like, 0. And you owe us the fees for putting it in the auction. I'm just kidding. I don't think they do that. I don't know.
I would list it again.
Mm-hmm. Would you get a gold necklace that has the Anheuser-Busch logo on it?
No.
Oh, it's a bracelet. So if you gave that bracelet to somebody and were like, this is how much I love you. I got you this bracelet with the Anheuser-Busch logo. You're like, oh.
Well, I know you're an alcoholic and you love beer, so.
Or I was thinking like, oh, okay, like, is this like, just because we've known each other for 25 years? Or like, you know, is this like some kind of retirement thing? Am I retiring?
That's probably where it came from. Someone retired.
That's what I'm guessing, right? Or maybe, I can't imagine why you'd give somebody a jewelry with the Anheuser-Busch logo, unless maybe the wives of everybody, because they're sexist. And they're like, oh, these women don't like jewelry. Pottery shards? That's interesting. That's super interesting. I don't touch that kind of stuff. Footballs, ammos. Oh, there's that other Norinco coming, $7.95. I can't remember what. Does anybody remember what the first one went for 2 hours ago? Let's see what's going on YouTube. We know that the ripoff of the Daily Gun Show, the alternative Daily Gun Show. A lot of people call it the fake Daily Gun Show. Sometimes it's called the Daily Faux Show, Faux Show, FAUX Show, the Faux Show. So the Faux Show is coming in about a minute. They say. Let's see if that actually happens. What else do we got going on? Forest Service is hiring in your area, so you can work for the Forest Service. Do you ever watch Gun Guy from California?
No.
He's California focused. Second Amendment dude on YouTube. Just curious if you happen to see him or not. So this is the page for BCG Wear, which is, I think, Bolt Carrier Group Wear. And this is the place that does Tony Simon's t-shirts for 2A for E. You'll notice a couple of them are going to support Tony and the project, but that blue one is $10 shipped, and it is a massive deal. The idea is that you get a shirt that everyone has the same easy-to-see color blue, and if you show up at a 2A rally or some other activity or assembly of people, then you've got a consistent color shirt on. Of course, the message 2A for E, And gun control equals racism is useful for starting conversations or being in Photoshop or photo bombs or whatever to get the word out about the diversity shoot. And like I say, you can get some other colors and types of shirts over there if you're interested in it. Tony probably gets a little cut of that to help them with the costs of doing the diversity shoots all the time. So Gun Guy is good. He's one of the channels that helps us figure out the ridiculous laws in California. Exactly. He's got a style, so he kind of goes on. So I could see somebody being like, oh, I need something to be quicker or whatever. But if you don't mind him going, like his style or what, he's consistent, he's efficient and thorough. And he's had a lot of interviews lately with California lawyers going over different things. I guess Joel is his name. All right, so next would be coming, this Israeli 9mm only got a minute left. Would you get this giant ammo can full of Israeli 9mm bullets?
Sure.
How much would you pay for it? Well, that's the question. So it's 1,200 rounds. How much would you pay for 1,200 rounds of Israeli 9mm? It may be steel cased, I don't remember. Hard primer, loaded to much higher pressures than commercial, and can be unsafe for some use in some handguns because I'm pretty sure it's for Uzis. Awesome. So how much would you pay for Uzi ammo? 1,200 rounds. Uzi ammo in a wicked awesome Israeli ammo can. It's ending. It probably already ended. So it's at 43 seconds at $525. So while Smeggy was not buying it, somebody's buying it for less than 50 cents a round. Oh, it just went to 540. So what do you think that it just went to 555? What do you think this hard primer Israeli Uzi ammo is going to go for? If you're going to buy 9mm ammo and not shoot it, because I can't imagine somebody would shoot an entire, almost unopened ammo can full of Uzi ammo from Israel. But whatever. I think if you're going to buy 9mm, you might as well buy for a Uzi 9mm. If a fucking Terminator robot was coming back in time, this is what he would have picked up to wail on a bunch of humans with. By buying this now, it's possible, it's potential, it's probably inevitable that you inhibit or at least prevent the robot takeover for at least a little while. It's probably Skynet bidding on it. It just went to $585. Is anybody going to suggest what the price they think this Israeli Uzi ammo is going to go for? I'm taking a picture of it.
I know for myself, I'd only want to spend a couple $100 on it, so it's already too rich for my blood.
Is it because you hate 9mm, because you hate Uzis, or because you hate ammo, or because you hate money?
It's because I'm protesting the reality of ammo prices, and I'm going to pretend like it's 2010. And if I just pretend long enough, the prices will come back down.
Denial. Oh, what is this? This. Oh, that's cool.
What?
A bunch of books about.
I'm going to jump out, man.
Okay, thanks for jumping in.
Good chatting with you. Take it easy.
All right. He couldn't handle it. It was way too 2A, and there was too much ammo and stuff. I don't even know if it's legal for him to do this without some sort of a background check in his state. But he jumped in because he's Patreon, and Patreon's got a link. So I'm going to end up ending it at some point because I don't have any money, and it's frustrating watching an entire thing of Uzi ammo get sold for $500, $585. I just took a picture of it though, so at least I got a picture of what the Uzi ammo can looks like. What am I hearing? I'm hearing something. Oh, it's the faux show.
Remember this, he's actually a co-sponsor of the bill itself. So you would think he'd be like, yeah, let's go. It's the four votes. Let's get to.
I guess we can listen to this while we're watching this now.
So I don't know. It depends on how they vote. I'm hoping there'll be a vote on Thursday, but who knows?
$585.
I think that the only reason he co-sponsored
You could have bought a
was
Uzi for that at
simply
one
to,
point, and that's how much its ammo costs now. Oh, I don't need to have me in here anymore. So you can still hear me, I'm assuming. And that just ended. We got this 8mm ammo ending. Oh, just ended for $200. Wow, that went really cheap. So that went much cheaper than the others. Less than 50 cents a round.
Before too terrible long. Yeah, absolutely. Go, everybody out there. The great stage to Kate. I didn't work from the inside, but absolute props to Timo. That's just like somebody full of that.
I guess we're down to just stuff and then this one gun left. I wonder if there's a thing that tells you how many people are watching. That would be neat. So 150 rounds of 380 brass went for $100. Wow, a bucket of ammo? Damn, a bucket of ammo. Holy moly. Then you get gold and silver coins. Oh, I see. A bunch of silver nickels and a couple other 50 cents. Canadian silver. Oh, I didn't know there was Canadian silver. I'll have to go through my Canadian money and see if it's worth anything. Jewelry, sterling silver ring chain, bunch of motorcycle die-cast things. Got some 100 rounds of 40 ammo, almost a bucket ammo. 150 rounds of 380 for almost a bucket ammo. And eventually we'll get down here to this Mac 90, which is at $800. The last Mac 90 went for less than 500, didn't it? Or am I just crazy? No, I thought it was the correct. So, I mean, I don't remember. It might have gone for 800. How do we find out? Let's automatic. Oh, no, that doesn't work. We can go to view catalog, maybe. Yeah. Now it went for 855. It says bidding closed at 855. So we'll figure out what this other one is. Or what this other one will go for.
Other comment section as well.
Much appreciated, definitely. And then, sneaking in here at the tail end, one of my favorite people to join the panel, Dead Horse, how are you, sir?
Howdy, thanks, guys.
Hey, anytime. DJ told me that you had some stuff going on in life, and I hope everything is as good as it can be. But with that being said, did you get to do anything two-way today or over the weekend?
Not so much this weekend. I was kind of mainly focused on Flag Day. My wife's been doing a lot of two-way stuff. But,
Here we go. The Norinco's on its way up.
Flag Day, stuff like that. But, my wife's sure been jumping into the two-way lately. Pretty proud to see that.
Well, that sounds like two-way by proxy, and we'll take it. I like it.
I'm pretty sure that whatever your wife does, you're allowed to take credit for. That's how it works. Oh, dang, that football was almost over, and then it got bidded on again.
That's terrific. So,
Got some more coins and whatnot, and some kind of binoculars.
Finally getting that comment list finished up. I actually went, found the Microsoft Word on my computer, getting that all typed out right now. I spent the last 3 hours typing out all these comment ideas.
I look to buy my bed from auction houses. Oh, this bed here. $100.
With that being said,
I guess it's when somebody moves or whatever, and they're like, "You want to just take it all?" And they're like, "All right."
I'm about halfway done, so I probably got another 3.5
Yeah.
hours. So typing to go.
My bed was given to me by somebody who didn't want it.
But
That's how I get my
that
bed.
list will be compiled by the end of the night, so anybody who wants it should be an email.
Dang, that football keeps getting more and more bids. I'm going to start writing stuff on footballs when I find them. I didn't know that was worth money.
Text message, whatever it is, and I will get it to you, whether it's through a snail mail and you want a physical copy, print it off and
2 minutes, $7.95. So it'll be a little cheaper. I saw a little preview and it looked like they were identical.
Whatever is easiest for you. But right now,
So you can't ever tell if it's the Mac 90 with the slant cut or not. That takes a little more effort to re-weld. But I've been seeing some dudes re-weld that on Instagram. Professionally, it looks great. Oh, I can't remember back in the day. I'm pretty sure the ones that are slant cut. Oh no, you can tell from under here, maybe. No, that's the wrong one. You can tell from the side. I think the slant cuts were mostly side folders. I might be wrong on that because it's been a while.
Correct.
I got one of those stocks, I think. Oh no, I might have modified. Let's call it a modified stock. Still at $7.95. It hasn't gotten any more bids, and I think that'll be the last gun. All we got left is a basketball and some little flat pieces of metal and some magazines. A bunch of Magpul mags. 5 Magpul mags are $65.
one went down right in.
So I'm going to drop the link to Barbecue's chat. This guy does the faux chat, the faux Daily Gun Show, or it's called the faux show.
Then you're talking about ATF 2021 that R5 or something like that, I believe it is. And then after all that, then you go to the thing. So like,
I think that's how it would be called. The faux show.
Address of this. I don't know why I will say it because.
Uh-oh, 46 seconds and it's not going to get another bid.
ATF comments would be able to find it at that point. But anyways.
So it'll go for like $50 cheaper than the last one. I really want to look at this cougar statue, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. It's in the red. It's in the red. It's going to go for $50 cheaper than the last one. Nobody wanted to stay up this late, although it is all of 8 o'clock here, 8 p.m. So this started at 6 p.m. It's now 8 p.m. We've been live for 2 hours and 26 seconds. It all works out. The math is perfect. So it just sold 8 seconds, 7, 6, 5. It is selling and it sold. So somehow nobody wanted to stick around and someone saved $50. This is $1,000 for this cougar. I was gonna look at this. Or it's like a mountain lion gonna get somebody. Oh, it's wood. I thought it was brass. Interesting. All right, so that's $1,000. Interesting. We will wrap it up, I guess. I already dropped the link over to Barbecue's chat. You can watch that chat if you want to watch something 2A. There's the auction every Tuesday over at Pot of Gold. Let us know what you think of the thing in the comments. If anybody's still watching this at this point, there's nobody watching this live. So if you're watching this in the replay afterwards, let us know. And we'll be back to pick you up later.